Welcome, welcome, my friends. I want to take a moment to just stop and re-emphasize on the importance of emotional wellness in our ascension process. Many of us, I was one, but many of us fixate or focus on dietary restrictions and changes, cellular salts, and all of that. Now, and I'm not saying that this is incorrect. I'm just saying to just focus or just fixate on this and be extremely restrictive and, I guess, hyperactive with it. That leads us to being all physical, all about the physical. Nothing can be done unless we make these changes, which is not true. I mean, these changes need to be made, but it's not, it's hard to explain. Well, it's not all physical. That's the easiest way to explain it. It's not all physical. Though very valid in its importance. And then other people fixate or focus specifically on meditation techniques or new meditation techniques to reach some sort of nirvana-like state or feeling. And yes, that's good to prime ourselves and be ready and know how to deal with situations, know how to meditate when situations are out of control around us and we can't control them. We can meditate and control ourselves within. So it's good, but again, if we're only fixating or focusing on all of the new ways or the exact proper way to do different meditation techniques, then we're fixating or focusing and being all psychical. Like the dietary stuff, the cellular salts and the exercise and the sleep regimens and all of that, that's like physical. And then all of the meditation, the ohms and the colors, wearing different colors and the chakras and all that's leading in to be like all psychical, just all floating around and being in a state or a feeling of as well as fixating or focusing all our intentions on information, knowledge, facts, information. Why, what, who, when, how. I need to know and I need to know now. It's like always trying to prove a point or disprove someone else's point. It's just like a lot of mental stimulation, excessive thinking and searching. Again, it's not bad to search and seek to find information if the information that you're using is to help cleanse and purify your own inner being and also help you to look at others in a way that their downfalls and their misgivings, you can understand. You say, okay, well, I understand that but if you're just fixating on knowledge and more knowledge, that can be to your detriment. That's why I used to always say, I send everybody love, peace, strength, knowledge, and for every bit of knowledge, double portions of wisdom. Because we can't just be information hogs, just thinkers. The higher manas, or the highest mind, it already knows. It knows all. It knows absolutely everything. It's our lower mind or our lower manas that has the urge, the need. It thinks it has to know the answer. It's gonna not survive. It's like an addiction. And again, not bad. Like we need the lower manas or the lower mind to connect us and yes, have us question things. But if that's your sole purpose, is just to gain as much knowledge and put it in your book bag, yeah, not good. You'll get stuck in ego town then, and because you'll know more information than someone else, or you'll have information to point at someone else and say, nope, found this out, you're wrong. Like, all of that, it's a bad cycle to get stuck in. So now that makes you all mental. So, and then a lot of times, I mean, I did this too, people will vacillate between one or two or all three of them. And a lot of times people think that if they're doing all three of them and they're doing correctly, and you should be doing all of these things, but they believe that, like, that's it. Like that's it. No. And again, I'm not saying that these aren't important pieces to our ascension or awakening process, but in my opinion, the most important piece is our emotional state. Our emotional state is the driving force throughout all those previous three, the physical, the psychical, and the mental. There are emotions. So complex we are. Emotions such as anger, fear, embarrassment, shock, good or bad, surprise, anticipation, all of these things, they cause a physical effect on us. They cause our face to flush, our heart rate and our blood pressure to increase when we get angry or embarrassed or we're in shock, surprised, we're in fear. Our emotional state has a physical effect. We don't even need to have experienced certain things. Just a mere thought of any of these emotions will bring on the same effects. Out of this plethora of feelings, emotions, fear is number one, anger and embarrassment or not belonging, I guess, would be the strongest emotions. And why? Because we have past emotional wounds that have been hidden, but subconsciously we will not and cannot ever forget. All of our emotions are attached to desires, and desire or intent is the most powerful tool that we possess. For if we have pure desire and pure intent, all, in quotations, will be shown and given to us. But desire that's cloaked in a pure garment will be known, and the person kept in darkness. Bible scripture about the can't put new wine in an old wineskin. And also Jesus talking about washing the cup, washing the outside of the cup, but not the inside. Emotions are created in the amygdala and the hippocampus, or the limbic system. This is where all of our fight or flight, instinctual responses come from. I read articles where they've done experiments shown in animals, different animals, where they've removed a piece of or they stimulated the amygdala, and it ended up that they had extreme passive or extreme aggressive tendencies. There wasn't any like in between. It was like one or the other. Substances such as alcohol and pharmaceuticals go directly to the limbic system and suppress or excite the amygdala. This is why inebriated people become loud, easy to anger, quick to be violent, and slow to listen to reason. Their amygdala is suppressed in one section and excited in another. Not good. Another example, the amygdala is also a reward center. Some people become extremely sexual and are overcome by physical sexual desires without regard for future problems from that interaction, such as cheating on a spouse or a significant other, pregnancies, STDs, etc. Pharmaceuticals such as Suboxone and Methadone specifically suppress that reward center, so that receiving any extreme doses of dopamine, the recovering addict, he can't receive it. She can't receive it. She can't receive those feel goods or the lighting up or the reward center, because those pharmaceuticals have suppressed it. Just like I said, the experiment in the animals, where they removed a piece of it or the whole thing or stimulated it. All of that's going on within the amygdala. It leads to a suppression of any feel-goods, not allowing the person to ever feel, quote-unquote, good without extreme stimuli. It has to be something really extreme, like a big surprise, or, I don't know, I don't even know examples, like jumping out of a plane, extreme adrenaline rushes, because that's all that they have. They don't know how to, quote unquote, feel good by themselves, which inadvertently leads these people to be depressed or in a low state at all times, unless something extreme can pull them out. And even then, it's only temporary. Just as with other drugs, alcohol, shopping, overeating, sexual addictions, quote unquote, the feel goods that we get are temporary. Which leads me back to why. Why? Why can it be that we're so desperately always trying to get the feel goods? Doesn't this imply that we don't feel good? #truth. We feel emotionally bad, and we're just trying to substitute with other things. We need to get to the root of the problem. If we're in an emotionally stable place, there's no need to be constantly searching to feel good. We already do feel good, and the small things that we're able to now see and comprehend and appreciate makes us feel good. And then that leaves us open for us to be able to direct our passion and our desires towards becoming whole and pure and conscious, in full consciousness. If we don't take care of the root of the issue by addressing and attempting to correct it, our emotional scars, pains, and fears, all of the things that we've hidden or covered up, will ascend no further than where we are right now at this point. We must acknowledge that we've made mistakes, and we also must take responsibility for our part in those mistakes. It's never just one person solely. I mean, I don't want to use never. There are certain situations, but in adulthood, no. Anything that you did in your adulthood, pretty much 99%, you had a part in it. You need to look and acknowledge your part, your responsibility. Take that responsibility and change your behavior, however you were behaving at that time. Because I'm pretty sure that there's one or two things that if we had been doing differently, we would not have ever got into situations that we've gotten into. So acknowledge the past, take responsibility, and change the behavior. And forgive thoroughly with a pure heart. And as well as forgiving ourselves and acknowledging our things and changing our things, we also need to take another step and forgive anyone in our past fully, unconditionally, We all think, feel, perceive, speak, and act differently. And we can't hold resentment towards those who have hurt us. We're not them, and they are not us. We don't think like them. They don't think like us. Well, our emotions are different. The way that we perceive and compile, we're all different. So we have to forgive. We have to let it go and forgive and understand that everyone's on their own path. Everyone's on their own path, and everything that we experience is for our better. You can hate unrighteous acts that were done to you or to others, or that you've experienced or seen. You can absolutely hate unrighteous acts and words, but you absolutely may not hate an unrighteous man, because we're all unrighteous in some sort of a way. That's why we're here. As I said, we're all here on our own individual paths with specific lessons and tribulations and joys to experience. These are all for our higher self to ascend back to its rightful place. And we can never change how another person thinks, feels, speaks, or acts. We can't do it. And there's no reason to sit around and stew about it, or why someone would do that or think that. That's ridiculous. You're just spinning wheels for no, you're expending energy for no good cause. We can't ever change another, but we most certainly have all the power to change how we react to what another has said, or how they think, or how they feel. Find a reason to understand everyone. Please be aware that our higher mind, or the higher manas, it already knows everything. That's those scriptures that you read that says that, quote unquote, God knows every hair on your head. Yes, it's your higher self, knows everything. It knows our true hearts and our true desires, why we do what we do, why we say what we say, why we forgive people, or why we're nice to people. You forgiving people or being nice to people because you're supposed to? Or is it because you truly do, because you understand that everyone's different and everyone thinks and acts and perceives and everyone has their own things to go through? We absolutely cannot cloak or hide our true feelings or thoughts, desires from our higher self. Any type of trickery on our parts is futile. It will not work. Ascending to our higher selves and our higher place begins in our hearts. If your heart is pure, and you've dealt with your past emotional scars and pains, and you've gone through it all will be pure. Things will supernaturally begin to manifest all around you. That's it, you guys. I just wanted to take a moment and backtrack and say that we can't get anywhere. We cannot get to the next step of evolving in our ascension process until we deal with emotional scars, pains, issues, and our desires that we have that are not good for us, that are filling us temporarily just to get the feel goods. That's it, you guys. I honestly say, love yourselves and love each other unconditionally. Peace.